Democrats expect to resign, not Pelosi but. It shouldn't be a mystery at this point liberals manage by sowing dread. It's their standard technique, and they're great at it, and now and then, they figure out how to do it to themselves. What's more, those days are about the most engaging days around. The actuality is, making individuals apprehensive of repulsive, non-existent results are the left's unparalleled political approach. The Republicans are harming the earth, the right is taking without end all health care perpetually, conservatives are bringing back racism, and so forth. Their trap is to make individuals ghastly afraid of something, so apprehensive that they'll begin to vote liberal. So it's more than satisfying to see a gathering of liberals ghastly afraid of what the future may bring in the event that one of their most loved government representatives resigns. Since the aggregate left all believe that Supreme Court Justice Anthony Kennedy would step down for good. What's more, basically every liberal in America shouted as one. Daily Caller journalist Tam Barathi has gone along a few lib tweets about Kennedy's retirement. Also, well, amazing. Via Daily Caller, rumors are swirling that the Supreme Court Justice Anthony Kennedy may announce his retirement Monday, and the liberals are afraid of the possibility of a conservative-leaning court. Liberals are fearing-mongering that basic human rights may be at stake if President Trump has the opportunity to replace Kennedy with a more conservative justice. More or less, liberals are probably the most intrigue-inclined individuals on the planet. The victims being trotted out before we contain a portion of the benchmarks the left has used to frighten American opportunities, but at the same time, there are considerably darker proposals, or, rather, recommendations that would basically be entertaining, if not for the way that liberals really trust them. Yes, that is right. On the off chance that Justice Anthony Kennedy resigns, Brown vs. Board of Education will be overturned, and will come back to segregated schools. That is the thing that the left considers. I figure all that lying and fear-mongering at long last broke the collective liberal brain. Additionally, you incorrectly spelled Obergefell. Kopf much? I assume this would be the point to remind conservatives not to trust the standard liberal untruths. Be that as it may, if the falsehoods are this terrible, there's very little more to state. Kennedy could conceivably resign. However, it's protected to state that American liberals are presently past soundness. What do you think about this? Do not hesitate and write your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you for reading. H.T. The Daily Caller. Jail time. See which top Democrat just got slapped with ethics investigation. Rather than investing all their energy assaulting President Trump by seeking after the investigation concerning alleged irregularities including conceivable contact between the president's campaign team and Russia, the Democrats ought to get their own home altogether. Also, that even goes past the interminable assertions of criminal conduct by Hillary. In fact, Hillary is just a single of their issues. There are various different characters who have a few skeletons rattling around their closets, asking to turn out and hit the national stage. One of the more noticeable of these people, one who acts like she has a great deal to cover up, is Debbie Wasserman Schultz, Democratic Congresswoman and previous chair of the DNC. Scandals are whirling about her as she tries to deny any detestable association with Imran Awan, her IT staff member who was nabbed by specialists as he was endeavoring to escape the country. He has been accused of bank fraud. First off, what will happen to Debbie? According to Politico, Awan is being detained for one count of bank fraud for apparently deceiving the Congressional Federal Credit Union when he applied for a home loan. However, he also suspected himself as a major player in a double billing scheme for computer hardware that he allegedly helped orchestrate while he was an IT staffer for the top congressional Democrats, including former DNC head Wasserman Schultz. Federal officials also suspect him of mishandling sensitive information by putting it in the cloud. So what we have here is an IT staff member for various House Democrats accused of bank fraud, and against whom affirmations have been made of misusing touchy or even ordered data. What's more, Congresswoman Wasserman Schultz is ideal amidst it. There is something quite amiss about why Congress Debbie Wasserman Schultz continued to use taxpayer funds to employ former technology staff member Imran Awan, even months after he was barred from accessing House's computer systems, and a number of her colleagues severed the ties with Awan, Matthew Whitaker, FACT's executive director, said in a press release. Since Awan's arrest last week, Wasserman Schultz was evasive and unable to answer even basic questions about the nature of Awan's employment with her office. This only further confirms the urgency of an investigation into her unethical and illegal actions. Debbie has herself in the canine house. She kept on utilizing as her IT staff member a man who had been banned from getting to House PC systems. That kind of makes you consider how he could do his IT work. Also, in the event that he proved unable, what was Wasserman Schultz having the administration pay him to do? Maybe regardless he approached at any rate and was attempting to duplicate however much mystery data from congressional PCs to different locales under his control as could be expected. Now we learn that, He Foundation for Accountability and the Civic Trust filed an ethical complaint against Florida representative in Congress on Monday to find out more about why Awan kept getting the taxpayer coin for doing nothing, despite being subject to federal investigation, a fact that probably makes Wasserman Schultz wish those hard drives were not just smashed but thrown into the caldera of Mount Doom. These are quite recently the kind of activities that can spell debacle for Wasserman Schultz, and likely a cluster of her kindred Democratic congressmen. On the other hand, they ought to have recalled the kindergarten lesson about being cautious who you select as companions. What do you think about this? Do not hesitate and write your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you for reading. H.T. Conservative Lindsey Graham goes on President Trump. He accused President Trump of one thing he's never been called before. Donald Trump is plenty of things, however, one thing he is not is timid. That, as he would state, is for losers. It's clever now that Trump's entire absence of timidity is making others call him, sit tight for it, timid. Sound odd? It is. In any case, it's actual, and it's the reason one of Trump's heaviest rivals is presently calling him weak. Because Trump continues discussing Jeff Sessions. Since, obviously, discussing Sessions makes Trump look guilty, with regards to the Russians. So his decisions are look guilty or be timid. Representative Lindsey Graham truly didn't give Trump a lot of a decision here. Via Daily Caller, Senator Lindsey Graham told CNN Wednesday that President Trump's handling of Attorney General Jeff Sessions shows signs of weakness. Trump has been relentlessly attacking Sessions in the news media and on Twitter for recusing himself from the Russian investigation and not investigating Hillary Clinton's emails. On Wednesday, Trump said he was also frustrated that Sessions did not replace acting FBI Director Andrew McCabe. Graham argued that if Trump wants Sessions to go, he should just use his power to fire him instead of trying to bully him into resigning. Graham has a point. On the off chance that you simply fire somebody, everybody accepts you had a justifiable reason. On the off chance that you request that that individual leave again and again, and that individual doesn't leave, it doesn't seem as though you had a justifiable reason motivation to flame that individual. On the off chance that anything, you look powerless, and your worker looks solid and certain. Yet, there's one little contrast here, we're dealing Trump. What's more, he says whatever is at the forefront of his thoughts. It's what's made him solid. Trump sees, maybe superior to some other representative, that throwing in the towel makes you look weak. What's more, looking powerless makes you lose, which for the most part implies you lose cash. Bunches of it. Also, similar standards apply in DC. Never withdraw, and dependable talk your mind. So if Trump calls it quits against Sessions, he looks weak, which debilitates his administration. Which is impossible. Be that as it may, in the event that he doesn't down against Sessions, he looks frail too, at any rate as indicated by Graham. Trump is damned on the off chance that he does, and damned on the off chance that he doesn't. What do you think about this? Do not hesitate and write your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you for reading. H.T. The Daily The silence is broken. FBI and State Department about emails on Hillary, she is in panic mode. Judicial Watch is an open intrigue office that is eminent for recording Freedom of Information Act, FOIA, claims to access government archives that regularly implicate open authorities. With regards to Hillary Clinton and her partners, seeking after such cases must be an all-day work for various staff lawyers and who knows what number of support staff. Such is the greatness of her corruption and the paper trail that must exist. In yet one more triumph for Judicial Watch, they are going to get their hands on a bit of Hillary's notorious messages that some way or another made it to Huma Abedin's repelled spouse Anthony Weiner's portable workstation. Indeed, the court has requested that the FBI turn over around 7,000 such messages to the State Department for ensuring sending to Judicial Watch. As Judicial Watch keeps on pursuing this issue, it is as yet workable for Hillary to end up in a bad position, somewhat to leak arranged materials to private people. The FBI has turned over 7,000 new documents from Anthony Weiner's private laptop to the State Department as part of a watchdog group's lawsuit related to last year's Hillary Clinton email case. Judicial Watch and State Department representatives appeared in a federal court in Washington, D.C., on Thursday over the group's Freedom of Information Act suit seeking Clinton emails from her tenure at the State Department. It emerged during the hearing that 7,000 new documents were turned over. The trove is expected to contain some emails sent by Weiner's estranged wife, Clinton aide Huma Abedin. We know the entire cluster of them are screwy. What stays to be seen is if Hillary will ever stand trial for her bunch of affirmed wrongdoings. Some portion of the issue is that the quantity of records, including these 7,000, is huge to the point that at the present preparing rate, it will take years for every one of them to be turned over. The State Department was ordered in November to turn over 500 pages of Clinton-related documents a month to Judicial Watch. But Fitton is not satisfied with the speed of the process, especially now that another 7,000 documents are added to the pile. This pushes this out until 2020 and beyond, Fitton told Fox News after the hearing Thursday. Production is slow because the legal counsel is a holdover from the Obama administration. The people who are responsible for slow-rolling this are still here. This all sounds kind of Clinton-esque, isn't that right? Run out the clock until the point that an alternate organization is in control, or some statute of constraint counteracts indictment, or on the grounds that individuals get exhausted with it all. At that point, the entire thing just gets dropped. In any event, we're very certain that is one of Hillary's expectations. Maybe the forceful lawyers at Judicial Watch will safeguard that this argument against Hillary doesn't simply decay and vanish from the national awareness. What do you think about this? Do not hesitate and write your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you for reading. T. Fox News. Governor Jerry Brown just got very bad news about his gas tax hike straight from the Republicans. We've discussed how wild Democrats are in California. Their widespread spending and the radical plan will assuredly decimate the once awesome state. Be that as it may, all's not lost. It appears there are more than a couple of Republicans who are battling to save their home. Via Free Beacon, California Republicans opposed to the latest gas tax increase said they have gathered more than enough signatures to launch a recall effort against Assemblyman Josh Newman, a recently elected Democrat whose surprising win gave his party a supermajority that could pass tax increases without single GOP vote. Carl DeMaio, a conservative San Diego talk radio host who is leading the recall effort, said Republicans opposed to the latest gas tax hike. Newman submitted 84,988 signatures for the recall effort on Tuesday, nearly 20,000 more than the 63,592 the law requires. The overwhelming number of signatures we have collected for just 6 weeks demonstrates a real rebellion is brewing in California against out-of-control tax raisers in the state legislature, DeMaio told the Washington Free Beacon. The gas tax hike is only one of numerous loathsome thoughts proposed by Governor Jerry Brown. This blockhead needs to drive a radical, socialist motivation on the state. He needs to finance every one of the projects for illegals and lawbreakers, to his inept environmental plans. That cash needs to originate from someplace. Along these lines, a monstrous gas tax hike, something no one can dodge, is the arrangement. This is ideal out of the liberal playbook. Rebuff persevering subjects, the ones that help the state, with a specific end goal to profit the freeloaders and officials. The way that such a large number of individuals marked the request of demonstrates there are numerous in California who aren't bringing this socialist takeover resting. They won't let damaging plans of Brown to sink their state. Be that as it may, will it be sufficient? We'll need to sit back and watch. What do you think about this? Do not hesitate and write your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you for reading. H. T. Free Beacon.